Alright, so sorry for the crappy quality and heads up in advance. I really don't have a real camera. All I have is my iPhone. However, I did see somebody post on the forums the other day a video series of this guy that makes some fake prep video or whatever, and it's a spoof. And it was kind of funny and it was kind of cool to watch. However, I've seen recently from some newer players that with this game coming up, Op Origins, hosted by Kalamazoo Airsoft, that they don't quite really know what to do because it's their first milsim. Now, I'm not the most seasoned player ever. However, I have gone to a couple milsims, and I kind of know a little bit what's going on, and I've done a lot of research and stuff already. So, I am going to kind of tell you what I would do for milsim. So the first thing you want to do, and something that I do, is you want to get your kit and your gear out, and kind of go through it, and first set it up the way you think you would like it, depending on what weapon system you're going to run that day. And then go outside with your weapon system and your gear on and move around a little bit with it, try some reloads, stuff like that, and then try and get that set up the way you want it. Once you get your kit set up, you want to then double check that you got your rifle set up and everything like that. Once you got that, you're going to want to lay out everything you're going to need for the day, from your kit to your gear to your guns, spare batteries, and all that stuff. I'll post a link to a video that tells you what you should bring, but we'll go over some of those things here throughout the video as well. By making a list, you can kind of like check off stuff as you go through and you pack it all up. You want to make sure you pack everything up and make sure you have everything. So a couple of very important things for milsim and some of the stuff you want to bring is you want to have a primary weapon. Of course, it's a kind of a given, but you do want to have a primary weapon, preferably an assault rifle or something with a little bit more range on it, so that you can be effective on the field. It's best to bring a sidearm if you have one. In milsims, there are some times where just being able to draw a weapon in between reloads or when you run out of ammo or something, just to give a little bit of suppression to get yourself back to cover if you're not in cover, or just to get yourself to keep having these guys maybe not suppress you as well. A sidearm can become handy. If you do have one, you want to bring a spare weapon system. It can be almost anything. If you don't have another AEG or another assault rifle, it could be a submachine gun or something like that. You want to bring that just in case your primary weapon system goes down. At milsims, it's a longer game and it's a longer day, so you won't really have time to just sit down and tinker with your gun and trying to fix it, or it's not like the game's going to end anytime soon. So you really kind of want to get another weapon system that you can bring along with you and utilize if your first primary system goes down. Another thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you bring enough mags if you have them, if you're running mid caps. High caps are fine, but really for a milsim you want to use mid caps just to get the realism out of it. Another thing you definitely want to bring is make sure you have some power food. Stuff that you can eat on the field that's smaller that you can bring with you, but that'll give you some energy if you're ever running out. Stuff like trail mix, cereal bars, beef jerky, anything like that that's high in protein, high in carbs, and that is a snack like that you can carry on your gear. A big thing for milsims is you want to have hydration. It's very, very crucial that you get hydration. It's a very key part of milsims because you're going to be running around all day. You're not going to have very many breaks. Depending on the event, there may or may not be a lunch break, and there may or may not be catering, but it never hurts to maybe bring some sandwiches or something like that for lunch, just in case you don't have a chance for a break or you don't have time to stop for lunch or whatever. A couple things that I'll bring is I'll bring some Gatorades just to give me a little bit of hydration that I can keep back at the FOB or the forward operating base with me, just to get something different when I'm coming back for a reload or if I'm coming back to respawn or something like that. The other thing you want to make sure you bring is you want to make sure you have your red dead rag. That'll keep it, gives you something bright that on the field that people can see when you're dead. A lot of milsims require you to have one anyways, but it never hurts to bring one just in case one doesn't require it. I mean, something like a simple red bandana works just fine. And then finally, you want to make sure you have a lot of BBs and battery power. Or if you're running a gas blowback rifle, a lot of gas. There's going to be throughout the day, you're going to be going through a lot of rounds, especially when you in the bigger firefights, and because it's such a longer day, you're going to be going through a lot more ammo. And the games aren't as short as some rec games and stuff are, so you don't really have very many breaks in between. So bringing ammo is good. You can, most of the time you got to leave it at your fob anyways, but just get some speed loaders, and when you come in, you can load them up and go at it. You're going to want an extra battery if you're running an AEG, just because they are longer games, especially if you're going to like a 2-day milsim. Your batteries might run out or get low or possibly run out throughout the day. And so it never hurts to have a spare battery just in case that you can utilize. Or if you're running a gas gun, you definitely want to have a lot of gas, especially because you usually only get 2 or 3 magazines, depending on the manufacturer of the gun, before you have to put more gas in it. So you definitely want to make sure you have enough gas to be able to load up your mags with gas throughout the day. That's about it. This is about a basic overview of some of the important stuff that I have. And it's kind of some of the stuff that I do. I can link you to that video that I mentioned earlier, and kind of that gives you a reference for, he kind of goes over and tells you almost exactly what you need for a milsim, and touches a little bit more on some of the more specifics and not so much on just random, not so much just the important stuff. So this is Shad Squatch coming to you, and I am out.